Hello friends, happy Tuesday. Hope your day is going great so far. So yesterday's story was He's Here, the hero that we've been talking about the whole time in the Jesus Storybook Bible. And the last, not the one yesterday, but all the other stories that we've been covering have been in the Old Testament, and now we're going to start in the New Testament. New Testament starts with the arrival of Jesus himself, the Messiah, the one that has been prophesied from the beginning. So yesterday we heard the nativity story, the fact that he came to this world in the form of a baby, and that was just amazing because again it just fulfilled all the prophecies and all the promises from the Old Testament. So continuing on today, the story is called The Light of the Whole World. Okay, and it is based on Luke 2, and it's the story of the shepherds. All right, so let's start. It says, that same night, meaning the night that Jesus was born, he came down and came in the form of a baby, like I told you guys. That same night, in amongst the other stars, suddenly a bright new star appeared. Of all the stars in the dark, vaulted heavens, this one shone clear. It blazed in the night and made the other stars look plain beside it. God put it there when his baby son was born to be like a spotlight, shining on him, lighting up the darkness, showing people the way to him. You see, God was like a new daddy. He couldn't keep the good news to himself. He'd been waiting all these long years for this moment, and obviously so had we, meaning like humanity. And now he wanted to tell everyone, which is the whole reason why you had the shining star, right? I love how she says like a spotlight. So here's the star, the spotlight. And this is, I'm guessing, the manger or like the stable that he was born in. I love how you can see here, you know, the big city, Jerusalem, and here's the stable. And these are the shepherds who we're gonna talk about. All right. So he pulled out all the stops. He'd sent an angel to tell Mary the good news. He put a special star in the sky to show where his boy was. And now he was going to send a big choir of angels to sing his happy song to the world. He's here, he's come. Go and see him, my little boy. Now, where would you send your splendid choir? To a big concert hall, maybe? Or a palace, perhaps? God sent his to a little hillside outside a little town in the middle of the night. He sent all those angels, like the choir of angels, to sing for a raggedy old bunch of shepherds watching their sheep outside Bethlehem. So again, just re-emphasizing the fact that who God chooses, he uses the humble, the weak, to what's the word? To humble the rich and the poor and the powerless. He always chooses the nobodies that nobody's looking for, nobody's thinking of them. That is who God chooses. So he chooses to send his choir, which I'm pretty sure was amazing voices of angels. Again, not to this orchestra, not to a palace, not to a huge city, but just to these humble shepherds. In those days, remember, people used to laugh at shepherds and say they were smelly and call them other rude names, which I can't possibly mention here. You see, people thought shepherds were nobodies, just a scruffy old riffraff. But God must have thought shepherds were very important indeed, because they're the ones he chose to tell the good news to first. That night, some shepherds were in the open fields, warming themselves by a campfire, when suddenly the sheep darted. They were frightened by something. The old olive trees rustled. What was that? A wing beat? So here it is. The shepherds, they were trying to keep themselves warm by the fire. And you see all the sheep darting away because they heard something. They turned around. Standing in front of them was a huge warrior of light, blazing in the darkness. Don't be afraid. Remember I told you guys yesterday that every time an angel appeared, they had to say, don't be afraid, because because they were warriors. I mean, they were supposed to be frightening. So every time that they revealed themselves to people, they had to say, don't be afraid. So that's why they said, don't be afraid. The bright shining man said, I haven't come to hurt you. I've come to bring you happy news for everyone everywhere. Today in David's town in Bethlehem, God's son has been born. You can go and see him. He is sleeping in a manger. Behind the angel, they saw a strange glowing cloud, except it wasn't a cloud. It was angels, troops and troops of angels, armed with light. And they were singing a beautiful song. Glory to God. To God be fame and honor and all our hoorays. Then, as quickly as they appeared, the angels left. The shepherds stamped out their fire, left their sheep, raced down the grassy hill, through the gates of Bethlehem, down the narrow cobble streets, through a courtyard, down some steps, past an inn, round a corner, through a hedge, until at last they reached. So here it is. Here's the angel. Huge, right? Compared to the humble little shepherds that God chose that
how bright it is.
nobody liked. I know, right? They finally arrived, a tumble-down stable. They caught their breath because they were running. Then quickly they tiptoed inside. They knelt on the dirt floor. They had heard about this promised child, and now he was here. Heaven's son, the maker of the stars, a baby sleeping in his mother's arms. This baby would be like the bright star shining in the sky that night, a light to light up the whole world, chasing away darkness, helping people to see. And the darker the night got, the brighter the star would shine. So here it is. Here's Mary, here's Joseph, and here's the baby. And the shepherds are right here. So I love how the author says, and the darker the night got, the brighter the star would shine, right? And that just even reminds us that we are brighter when we are around darkness, not letting the darkness obviously overcome us and have influence on us, but us be the one to shine so bright in the ways of Jesus, and having Jesus in us, that we are the ones who impact those. Not we as in we, but the Spirit of Christ in us. That is what should be shining. And that's just my encouragement for you guys today in this time that we're cooped up in our houses, for us to pray and say, Lord, how do you want me to shine, to be a light for you? And I love how I shared, if you follow me on Facebook, maybe I should show it to you guys on Instagram, but if you don't, maybe I'll put a link below. I'll see if I can put a link before. There's this pastor called J.D. Greer, and he put up a message to the Florida Baptist churches. And I love his message because he said, you know, we should not, in this time, right, of chaos, again, we trust in the Lord. Not one cell, one molecule, one bit of virus, whatever, is outside of God's control. Nothing goes rogue. Everything is set to what God tells it to. So we trust in him, right? We trust in him completely. So because of that, we should not pull back in fear and in self-preservation, but let us, as Christians and followers of Christ, knowing that we have the truth, be the light in this world by moving forward in faith and in self-sacrifice. And God is going to bless that. And we trust him throughout all of this. So let us be light wherever we are. Let us do what God is calling us to do. Even if we put ourselves at risk in any way, shape, or form, we are doing what we can, obviously taking the precautions. But if we are asked to step out and show God's love in an amazing way, that is what we should be doing. That is how God is going to bless us, and that is how we're going to proclaim his name to this world. This story is amazing. I love the story, and something that we do with our families that on Christmas we have the tradition of actually watching the Nativity story. It was filmed years ago, I don't know, like in the early 2000s, and I think it depicts very accurately the nativity story of Jesus, and it does it beautifully. So I highly recommend you guys check out that movie if you guys want to, and now that you have some downtime, you can. So yeah, all right guys, that's about it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the King of all kings, and we're going to talk about the Magi and the wise men that came to see Jesus. All right, that is about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. It actually means the world to me that you guys actually take the time out of your busy day to watch my videos. I have a few messages for you guys. It won't take long at all, I promise. All right, so number one, I accept prayer requests. So if there's anything that you are going through, anything that you want prayer over, just go ahead and contact me either through a comment below, an email, private message, whatever way that you want, so I can add you to a prayer list that me and my family have, and we pray for every single day. We have seen the power of prayer in our lives, and we want to share that with you guys. All right, number two, if you are on Instagram, you should totally be following me. Why? Because I go live Monday through Friday and I do a small devotional / Bible study anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, but it's just something that you guys can listen to throughout the day to get you connected to the Lord and to His Word. And lastly, number three, if you are not following me, totally subscribe, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. I would love for you to join our family. We have so much fun here. I do my best to upload twice a week, usually Tuesdays and Fridays. And I do videos about anything and everything. I do beauty, I do fashion, I do recipes, I do about my life, I do hauls, I do some of my favorite products. Honestly, a little bit of everything where my kids are involved, and it's just so much fun. So I would love for you to join our family if you want. All right, that's about it. Thank you so much. Love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.